visual aids, you can use tape and pictures, a puppet, one of the dramatic play items. Like I said, if you have like a stethoscope and a cat, you can practice being a doctor. Or I have this. So in my undergrad, our teacher would have us put visuals directly into the book. So this is one of the books that I had to make. And so it's about like a mouse and his mom walking through spring and seeing all the spring animals. And on this page it says, "There in the grass, Mouse found something glittery and flittery. What can it be?" wondered Mouse. And this is a really good example of how it makes you stop, right? So I said like it can keep you on track. So this is a really good example. So you stop and you're like, Mouse has never seen that before. What do you think is behind? It looks like it's in the grass. It looks like it's about the size of a mouse. And then everybody can guess. And you could even use the clues like, oh, it says it's glittery and flittery. What's glittery and flittery? And then you can have a child come and rip this out. And it reveals the butterfly. And then the child is able to just like stick this on a sticky board. And then on the next page, I think the kid I babysit, no, he didn't. The kid I babysit sometimes rips them off and eats them. But then whoosh flew the wind and fluttery buttery the butterfly flew away. And then you can have another kid come up and rip the butterfly and have it fly away. And sometimes for this book, I would like practice blowing. So I would like be like whoosh, right? And I would like blow it into the kids because that's exciting, it's dynamic, it's something they weren't expecting, and it's going to keep their attention. But if they start becoming off track because of that, like they're laughing too hard that they're not focusing, then you're not going to want to use that. You're going to want to continue calling on them to rip it off and put it back up on the board. So you guys are likely not going to have these visual manipulatives like taped into the book like we had to do. And so one thing that we did a lot is we would take like an actual piece of Scotch tape and we would like print off a bunch of pictures beforehand, cut them out, and just like tape them into the book and rip them off and put them on the page or on the sticky board behind us. And that was really effective. The kids liked it. You guys are probably not going to have that ability unless we send out like something beforehand or if we prep that for you guys. So that's something we can look into. If you guys think that would benefit you, let me or your coaches know so we can start implementing that. But it's definitely something to keep in your head, especially for clinic, because it's another really great way to put speech sounds into books. So if your child is working on the S sound and there are lots of S words they need to practice, you could find a book with quite a few S words and just tape in their picture cards. And then as the child reads through, you can have them practicing that S word like 5 times before you move on to the next page. And so that's a really great way to integrate language and phonology, or if you're working with older kids and reading skills. But again, we haven't talked about this yet, but the focus of Rosa Parks is for language and not speech. So in this case, you would not put a speech sound in the book because that is not their goal. Their goal is to learn language. And we'll talk about that more during the goal and data slides in 2 weeks. So if you guys do have any questions about reading, again, this is my favorite topic to talk about. Obviously, you can tell these videos are a little bit longer than the language facilitation strategies ones, but I just think it's because it's so important, you know, it's starting that positive cycle, it's introducing language, it's fun, and the more you practice, the better you're gonna get at holding the book, asking the right amount and type and variety of questions, implementing other outside manipulatives or visual aids to make it more dynamic and interesting, and then also practice with your voice and the way that you're reading. It's challenging at first, I know, and it does not come naturally for everyone. I think that you know, theater kids are probably going to be a little bit better at it because you're just used to having a more like animated personality. But some people really struggle with this. So if you're one of those people, I would just practice. Just look up children's books online. You can find lots of them on YouTube of people like reading through. You can mute the video and you can practice reading through as the person is like turning the pages. And that's also a really great strategy to use for distance learning. A lot of people have been doing that with their clients this year, because you can't like hold the book easily and show it, and so it's easier to share your screen, a YouTube video, and then read aloud to the child with the original audio muted. um, yeah.